Again, guys, good morning, good day, good afternoon, depending on where you are. So this is going to be a new week, new month as well. So this means this week will be NFP week. Let's take a look at the economic calendar first before we do anything else. We take a good look at tomorrow on Monday. We have core CPI for European here, year over year and over year. This will be modern impact news. And 9:45 we have final manufacturing PMI US dollar. And also at 10 a.m. here we'll be having manufacturing PMI, ISM manufacturing PMI. This will be high impact news. So which means that change during the sort of time we'll be having some sort of high impact news tomorrow. And on Tuesday we have the job openings, high impact news here for US dollar. This will exactly be at 10 a.m. exactly at the same time. And we have QE. I'm not interested in this one on QE because I won't be trading QE this time, so skip it. On Wednesday, 8:15 a.m., we have AGP non-farm employment change, high impact news. 9:45 Wednesday tends to be high impact. Yeah, 8:15, 9:45 here a.m. service PMI at 10. Exactly, we have ISM PMI services here, US dollar gain. And at 10:30 we have the crude oil inventories. Then on Thursday, 4:30 a.m. we will have the construction PMI, GBP, and then at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, GBP will be a monetary policy day. And then after this, what else do we have? In this case, US dollar, we have unemployment claims. This will be on Thursday as well. Canadian IV PMI, and then FMC, member, what else speak, that will be 2 p.m. Okay, we won't be trading 2 p.m. here. And on Friday, Canadian dollar employment rates here, and employment change, and as well as NFP. So this will be a very, very busy week. So on this busy week, let's see what we see based on technical analysis. Simply viewing the market based on what we'll be viewing the market based on the ICT concept. We're going to start on a weekly chart here. I'm going to keep it simple here. I will keep it simple for you guys and keep it basic, So what do we see in this case? I'm just going to stick to this thing, what we see here in this case, because on a monthly chart, we know this on a monthly chart here. Last month, where we were simply bullish month, was a bullish month last month, right? So which means in this month, we see, and last month was a bullish month, we opened and closed above the previous month's high, indicating that on this month as well, we are bullish. Again, this month again, we are bullish this month, right? So if I'm bullish this month, I want to see price open, push low, manipulate and push to the upside, right? Okay, but here's the key here, because we know some swing traders, we are day traders, right? So let's see what we have in this case. From this range low up to a high, price turn back into fair value gap here, push high, fair value gap again to up pressure shift, back up down into a fair value gap and order bullish order block here as well. On a weekly chart, this will be a bullish order block here. Within that fair value gap as well, we check into it here, which means now price seeking for external range liquidity here. Now in seeking external range liquidity, aka this buy side liquidity here. So which means that's going to be key number one. Number two, what do we see? We look at last week. The previous week was a heavily bearish week. Obviously on GXY, we opened here and closed lower the previous, and then last week we opened, pushed lower below the previous week's low, but actually closed above the low of the week, indicating that, okay, on this week we are bullish. So which means from here on this week, we are expecting a bullish week. So if I'm expecting a bullish week, I want to find the opening price of the week. I want to see the manipulation low. I want to see price distribute to the upside in this case. So I am bullish for this week. My main drawn liquidity for this week is going to be this high here. It's going to be 110.17. Let's go down to daily chart here. Okay, something interesting on the daily chart here as well. Remember this, we did talk about this volume imbalance here for so many times. We talk about this and priced perfectly. Tag came back down to this volume imbalance here on Thursday, tag into it, and then push higher to the upside on Friday. So what we see in this case, we obviously have a low here, a high here, a low, a new high over there. So which means here price broke above this high. So which means this high here, again, a market size shift for me, guys. I don't need price to close above it as long as tapped above the high. In this case, it will be a market size shift here on a daily chart. So what am I expecting for this week? I simply want to see price pushing a bit lower here. It can be lower down to this bullish breaker here. It can be down to this bullish breaker as well, because also within an order block last three, down to scanless order block here as well. So if it price can back down to this level, we have a breaker, daily chart, as well as order block here. So which means I want to see price pushing lower down to these levels, and maybe we can get a move like this, open down to these levels before we can push to the upside. So this is a move that I'm expecting here. I want to see here on this, this is what? Dollar index, aka DXY. So GXY is set up for us to, okay, liquidity here down to this level. Let's remove this here. In chart, this is simply what I'm expecting for this week, looking at the dollar index. All in all, I am bullish. However, I still want to see Monday or Tuesday giving us the low of the week before we can push higher to create a new high of the week. So DXY or the dollar for this week, I am bullish. So let's take a look at euro now. So if we are bullish DXY or the dollar, which means we know we are bearish, we are bearish euro. Good. So if we are bearish euro, let's remove all of the strong tools here. Lots of them, by the way. We look at euro here on a weekly chart. We have this range high down slow, price to back up into premium, right? Premium of this range high over there down to this level. So which means this is, I mean, there are so many things to talk about here. Okay, but let's keep it simple. Again, we have this upwards candle, a daily chart. On this course will be bearish order block on a daily chart here. Sorry, order block. Check into, do we have an inefficiency here? We do quite have it, but not interested in it. However, my key level right is going to be this volume imbalance here. We check into the volume balance as well as order block. Check into it. Okay, that's going to be key. And this, which means we can say we are check into inter-range liquidity. Now we're seeking for external range liquidity, which is going to be the sell side liquidity below this low here. Right, this could be the first step on a weekly chart. Again, second thing that matters here as well is that last week, we opened push higher above the previous week's high, but failed to close above the indicator token this week. We will be expecting what? A bearish move. For those of you who trade CRT, this will be the exact same thing that we're looking for in this case. Right. So what can I do in this case? I can switch down to daily chart now. On daily chart, what am I looking for? The same things over and over again. Look at this here. This is going to be the buy side of the curve, and now we're trading within the sell side of the curve, targeting this level right here, the sell side liquidity. Let's keep our charts a bit clean here. Break this thing down on right there. I'm gonna keep it clean here, daily chart. So we have a little bit of a cleaner chart here, right there. That volume imbalance over there, we checked into it on a weekly chart. Remember, we've taken out this highs. This will be the buy side liquidity. Look at this side and this side, buy side liquidity resting above the size. So which means this push or downside here, it broke below this low here, indicating we have what? A market structure shift on a daily chart here. So which means this perfect setup, by the way. Right there, markets are shift. So what are our expectations? Down close candle is going to be our all breaker here. We have a bearish breaker. Order block as well at the same levels over there. Breaker and order block. Do we have an error of efficiency? No, we don't have. However, we had one here, but price quickly get back into it, tag into it over there. So which means we don't need the price to return back up into the size. So which means what I'm expecting here from here on is simple. If price can open, maybe Monday or Tuesday can push out to this breaker and order block. I'll be simply expecting price to push you downside like this. However, I'm not going to talk about Friday. I'm going to skip this for now. I'm going to skip this one for now. For now, I'm going to skip this. Yes. Not me repeating the same thing over and over. Okay. So this will be my idea, guys. On euro is here all this week. I am bearish. However, I still want to see price. If I'm bearish, you know that. As always, if I'm bearish, I want to see price open. I want to see price moving against me, so I can do what? So I can trade that distribution. Always. That is always the case. Hello, Francis. I consider text as a direct. We are in the group, right? Direct to the group or send it direct to me, bro. If you have a question. So this will be our euro. No need to go down to lower time frames today, simply because we tomorrow will be breaking down to lower time frames. So we'll be setting up an entry for trades. Let's look at GU again, weekly chart and daily chart. The lowest time frame I can go today, it has to be the 4-hour chart. Let's remove all of this. Start off weekly chart. We in this case we have the same things compared to all the other setups. We have this range high, low. We have this high here and low. Price trade back up into premium. However, we don't have an favorable gap here or area of inefficiency. However, we do have something that is key in this case. We have last week here, the previous week, which is going to be previous week's low and high here. Last week push above the previous week's high, but failed to close above it. Indicate that this week we are expecting what? A bearish week. So let's go down to daily chart on a bearish week, and again NFP week as well. Okay, bro, perfect. So we expect a bearish week this week. What we look at this thing from now, we have this rejection block here. Look at that, damn, just back into. Let's put on some proper lipsticks here. This is gonna be the bearish order block here. We checked in weed. Right, new range high down to slow price right to the upside. In this case, came back down up into this rejection block here. Let's mark the week. right there. I'm going to use it as just mark as an order block there. Check into it, right? So buy side liquidity above the side, above the side. Then now we have this. However, looking at this thing on daily chart here, we don't have any clean market start shift here on daily chart. Let's look at the 4-hour chart here. Yes, this will be the lowest time frame. We can go up, down to perfect setup here with high, low, high with the space lower here on a 4-hour chart. We broke up below this low here. This will be in the market start shift here. Market start shift followed by what price to turn back up into the upside way to this fair value gap here. Right price turn back up into this fair value gap. We check into the fair value gap, taking out this high into it right there, again into it, the fair value gap, then we took off the downside. So what are we expecting for this week? It's the same thing here. In this case, we have this bearish order block here. So if maybe price can open, push high into the order block or main threshold, then I'll be looking for a chance to go short in this case. That's how simple it is to UGBP. That's how simple it is. That's how I'm going to keep it simple. Okay. For those of you who are trading the market maker models, we obviously have the buy side of the curve here, and you're looking to trade at the sell side of the curve. In this case, market maker models, market maker sell model in this case. However, I don't use it at all, but that's something that you can also take advantage of. So let's go up into gold. Gold, we are heavily bullish, guys. Yes, we've seen this, guys. We've seen this so many times where gold is bullish as well as DXY bullish at the same time. Yes, we've seen this over and over. So there's no need to debate about it anymore. We look at last week here. Last week we opened, push above the previous week's high and close above it. And now we are actually at the all-time high on gold, right? We're trading at the all-time. I don't like this. However, the reason what I don't like here is that if we are bullish like this, we are pushing to an all-time high. We don't really have quite a place to put our targets or stop losses like that. Okay. Last week, push above the previous week's high and close above it, indicating a bullish week. In this case, go down to daily chart. Okay. Daily chart indicates, okay, we push above the previous week Friday sale, which means this will indicate, okay, this week we are bullish, right? We want to see price opening, we want to see price pushing lower to fill up some sort of, to integrate liquidity. In this case, I want to see this fair value gap here. This will be the daily fair value gap that I want to see price coming back down to, check into the fair value gap here. Open, push lower to fair value gap, and then we push to the upside. That's what I'm expecting here on gold for this week. We are bullish. I'm simply expecting what? A continuation to the upside. Let's look at this on a 4-hour chart. Nothing much. We only have some sort of sell side liquidity to sweep below this low here into this fair value gap before we can continue to the upside. So this will be the case here on looking at gold. Let's go down to the Dow, aka US30. The Dow, US30, this is going to be most obvious one, right? We did talk about this one today with the group on Friday because we were trading live. And guys, now I'm trying to keep most of my sessions will be private, by the way. There's actually someone in the group said, bro, we paid and then they keep on doing the live streams, so opening up to everyone. So it makes it no point for them to be in the group. So yeah, we limit the number of sessions we do on the public group, by the way. So look at this. We have this equal highs there against this high over here. Makes this equal highs there. It makes it what? The cleanest draw on liquidity, which means we are still bullish on US30, aka the Dow Jones. So OYM, you're trading futures. Let's go back into this case. Look at this high and high over there, come back up into this. Yes, even though price reduction of this level, we are bullish. So if we are bullish in this case, how can we approach this thing? Breakaway gap here, check into fair value gap, this one here, price came back down into it, filling the gap. Then we took off to the upside price, so which means this week, this order block here, order see price respecting this order block in this case. So which means if we are bullish again, we can open here, but the manipulation, man, I don't see anything here. Let's go down for our chart here. We might see something. Okay, good. For our chart looks better. In this case, we have this huge order block here, so which means we can look for the main threshold of this thing here. Maybe we can open here and we can open and push lower to the main threshold of this order block. Main threshold, we also have this bullish fair value gap before we can push to the upside in this case. So we also have this fair value gap here, right? Let's accelerate it to that. Right, fair value gap. We want to see opening price. We want to see price pushing lower to these levels, and I want to see it check off. So here's something here. For anyone else may consider, because we have this high, a low, and high over there, a down, and this move to downside looks like a displacement. For anyone else, like this might right here may look like it's what? May look like it's a simple market structure shift. And I would say you're 100% correct. However, once you have a narrative, this simply means what? It's not a market structure shift. It's just what? It is just a simple grab of liquidity. So which means we'll be sweeping what? Liquidity below this low. Look at this. Relative equal lows as well. We have this low here. We have this low and this low. So this will be what? Simple as sell side liquidity. It is not a market structure shift. only if we are bullish, which means this one is simply a sweep of liquidity to the low, to this min threshold of this order block as well, this fair value gap, before we can rally to the upside. That should be Dow Jones, aka US30 or YM. Let's look at Nasdaq. Man, I've been trading Nasdaq a lot lately, and I do have also another model that I use. But however, it has nothing to do with ICT. That's very good. It's the simply one that I use when trading futures, by the way, because I scalp futures a lot. But for those who trade Nasdaq, scalp Nasdaq, I will also show it to you guys later on. I will show it to you the model. So it's so simple. Not really simple, but yeah, it is simple. Because once you get the hang of it, it's the most... There's the price action. Oh, where are we? Oh, sorry. On a weekly chart, what are we looking at Nasdaq, by the way? We have this all-time high here, which is going to be our drawn liquidity again. This will be the buy-side liquidity as our main drawn liquidity also on Nasdaq. We opened last week. Right, we push below the previous week's low here. We push below the previous week's low. However, if we fail to close below it, indicating what a rejection on this level. So, which means this week we are bullish. I want to see higher prices. So, if I want to see higher price, I want to see price open. I want to see price push low, and I want to see price displace to the upside to our drawn liquidity. Let's look at this thing on daily chart. Okay, this is where things get a bit crazier here. We came back up into this volume balance here on this, which means today on Monday we'd like to see a bearish candle. So which means I want to see price. If price will push you downside, I want to pay attention to this week here. I want to pay attention to this week. This is going to be huge week, by the way. Let's bring this, all of these. We have joy. We have this. I want to see the week, maybe opening price, because we have a bullish weekend. I want to see price open. I want to see price pushing lower to the quadrants over here. I'm not sure which one it is actually, but the cost of refreshment may be key. Then I want to see price distributed upside, and I actually want to see price closing above this volume balance here, because now price fill this volume balance, right? I want to see price closing above it, then it's as an inversion and pushes to the upside in this case. So I am bullish on DXY. However, this one right here, guys, I do not consider it as a high probability unless you want to put on all the proper lipsticks. So let's do so. Let's put on all the proper lipsticks, right? We have this range low here, up to a high with a low, a low, a low, and lower low here, which means in this case was simply what? Smart money. Pairing the long orders with the sell stop resting below this low, whereas this thing came back down into this inversion fair value gap here. Right down into this inversion fair value gap. We tagged into it, inversion fair value, we tagged into it here. Then we took off to the upside. We broke above this high here on a daily chart, making this one a market style shift on a daily chart, right? Then we came back down into discount array to this rejection block here. Damn, let's remove this for now. Then price turned back down to this rejection block here. Let's look at this rejection block. We came back down into at least down to the constant encroachment of this week here. Then we took off to the upside into this volume balance. So for this week, I'll say price open. I'll say price pushing lower to this week here before it can push to the upside. So we, all in all, we are bullish. I'm expecting what higher prices from here on. Let's look at the S&P 500 here. Oh, this is a thing of a beauty. S&P 500 will make all-time high has been made last week here. This was all-time high. So which means, however, this all-time high here makes it what our cleanest drawn liquidity for this week. We are bullish on S&P 500 here. Let's look at this week. Last week here. Last week we pushed below the previous week's low here, but failed to close below, which indicating okay, on this week we are bullish. In a few weeks we are bullish, and also we check into what into this bullish order block here, weekly order block. Check into it. So which means now we are expecting higher prices to these levels, right? Higher prices. So let's go down to daily chart here. On daily chart, we have some sort of relative equal highs here. We are bullish. Don't forget that. What do we have in this case? Same thing as Nasdaq. We have a this low here, smart money. Pairing their long orders with the sell stop resting below this low here. And S&P 5 seems like it's the strongest to the upside. This week to the downside here was also within this daily fair value gap here. However, on Nasdaq was on that invasion fair value gap. Don't forget that. We check into it. Push above this high here, broke above this extra shift to the upside, return back down into what? Into discount array. What do we have? A discount. We have a fair value gap here. What else do we have? Fair value gap and order block. If you're going to use the week as well, check into exactly to the peep over there, push to the upside. So which means now we have this volume balance here. Within this volume balance, I want to see price pushing above it and use it as an inversion to the upside. So which means on this week, I want to see an opening price here. I want to see price manipulate to the downside to this week here, at least maybe to the cost encroachment of this week, aka 50% of this week over here. So which means down below, let's remove all these tools that we don't need yet. So we have a bit of a cleaner chart. I want to see price pushing down to the 50% of this thing here of this week or shadow or take it wood before it pushes higher to the upside. That's going to be my idea today, guys, on S&P 500. So these are the markets that I wanted to share with you. It was Euro, GU, and the 3 index trade as well as gold. So guys, I'm going to see you next one. This will be all from me for today. I'm going to see you, or private group members will see you tomorrow exactly at 2:30 is the standard time. That will be exactly 9:30 our local time. Cheers, guys. I'm out. See you on the next one.